So you want to know what the window to the soul really is? Let's talk about that. Hey guys, Randy here with The Living Adventure. So yeah, what's the window to the soul? There's a lot of concepts about, the soul and our inner self and who we truly are. And in my travels, I got to meet a lot of very wise people. And when I talk about wisdom, and I've done this in previous videos, I talk about the understanding of the written word, the understanding of the experience and how those inner two connect together. And these people have figured it out and have come up with some incredibly intellectually and wise understandings. And I think it was in southern Thailand where, in a temple that, I was sitting with some Buddhists and we were having a good discussion about the soul. And of course their belief structure is quite a bit different than most religion forms, because they're not a religion, they're a belief. But the way it was described to me was the way that you see a true person's soul is in the way they communicate with you. And so what happens with that communication process is, if you listen intently, and that's the challenge for a lot of people, we don't listen to actually listen, we listen to respond. But if we listen intently, we actively listen to what the person is saying and trying to figure out the meaning behind the words they're choosing, the expression of those words, the intonation of those words, and the body language as well that's accompanying those words, we actually get to understand who that person is internally. And one of the things that has been brought to my attention is that when people use the I statement a lot, so when they're talking to you and they're like I, every third or fourth word is I, or they're writing, texting, and emailing, and they use the I word continuously, then that's a translation that this person is very self-centered. They only think about themselves. They're condensing, a world within themselves and ignoring the outside world. They're not willing to accept the outside world. It's all about this internal soul that they're guarding. And so it's hard, because when you're having a communication or trying to have communication with somebody that is just self-centered, they're just thinking about themselves, and instead of trying to engage with other people and how other people respond or feel or believe, and maybe open doorways to new beliefs within themselves, then it's almost impossible. And so one of the things that I have learned in my travels is, if I'm sitting down with somebody and they're engaging in this type of conversation, there's really no point in talking to them. And the fact of the matter is their beliefs are their beliefs, and there's no room for budging. They're not opening doors to acceptance. They're focused on themselves, and that's it. And if you listen hard, you'll pick these people up, and you'll start to understand that that term I does not include you. And so recognize that and pay attention to it. It is a bit of a red flag, if you want to call it, that these people's souls are closed, right? Now, that's not to say that there's not a darkness that's covering their soul. There's something that has penetrated their very being and is protecting that. That dark dragon that I keep talking about is the one that's saying, hey, listen. So can they shed that dark dragon and actually break out of this self-centeredness? I believe they can. I do. But it takes an incredible amount of effort. It takes a complete amount of letting go of a lot of their belief structures, which is very difficult. So, but yeah, just be mindful of that, and be mindful of it in yourself. If you find yourself using the I statement a lot, then really evaluate that. Check yourself out and see if, what is with that? Why are you focused on yourself and only yourself, and not opening up doorways to maybe let others in and to accept some of the offerings that they might be bringing. You can put filters in front of it to protect yourself, but to close those doors off completely might not be the wisest thing to do. Anyway, guys, I hope this helps. Have a great day. Cheers.